the happiness movement in schools and how we totally understand that schools, educators, students, families want people within school communities to have well-being, to be developing well-being. But nonetheless, this focus on trying to unpack, understand, and focus on everybody's happiness and levels of well-being, indeed, is arguably really problematic. What do you think?
Yeah, I think my first reaction to that, Helen, is actually when I hear it and hear about this constant striving for happiness, is that what we're actually doing is we're diluting the human experience in some way, and the fact that um, it has an assumption that the only purpose in life is for us to be happy all the time. But I think if we are that, then we lose out on deep connection that we can have with each other and the world around us if we accept the whole range of emotions.
Yeah. So if we think that being happy and feeling good and positive is the only measure of success in life, then it means that it becomes very risky to invest too heavily in relationships and have these meaningful connections, because at some level we know that with every relationship comes a very strong possibility of having to deal with a threat to that relationship or the complete loss of it altogether.
Yeah, absolutely. And it can lead us to being, I think, sometimes dismissive in schools if we think about our children and our young people's experiences within our schools. Um, and, I know I've had many experiences as both an educator myself, working in the wellbeing space, but seeing this happen a lot too in schools where it's almost that first reaction to a young person who comes to us who's feeling distress or loss or what it might be, to go, no, it's okay. It's okay. I'll fix this now, and now we can get back to being happy because I don't like sitting in this space.
Yes. So, which is making the distinction that we're not saying that it's not tough to deal with difficult emotions, feelings, to deal with loss, threat, but it doesn't mean that it makes you unsuccessful or that you're failing in life in some way. And in many ways, to avoid the distress of hard times is a loss and a failure in itself. So that I think we're really sort of clearly saying that we have to be so careful that in our sort of relentless pursuit of well-being, we're not mistaking well-being for life success per se, or be happiness for life success per se, but rather we really need to consider and maybe be striving more for helping people to have a deeply connected life and to deal with the inevitability of loss that comes with that. And I'd also just like to add, I think that it's also really important that we don't get caught up in understanding that because we want to experience well-being and happiness for a large part of the time, that is somehow the thing that we need to assess and focus on. Rather, experiencing well-being, feeling happy is a result of the way that we're experiencing our life in many ways. And it's the way that we're experiencing our life that we need to focus on. So it's the sort of the experience of life in school for students, in their working life for staff, that needs to be the focus of attention, not how happy people are. Because even if we find out somebody gets a 6 out of 10, whatever that means, it's not like we can then fill them up with an extra 4 out of 10 and say, there you go. We need to understand what's driving that. And so that needs to be the focus.
Yeah, it's interesting. You actually have me think about this quest for how we measure well-being well in schools, and it's always been an interesting discussion because I think we can get really trapped into trying to collect data or information that is assessing somehow our school performance by measuring how happy a student is. and how, what you're talking to is how deeply flawed even that thinking is a starting point.
Yes, absolutely. It's not like a vitamin deficiency. You can't then just take a bottle of happiness because you're a bit deficient in it. Rather, it's just a way of describing an experience of feeling good about life and having purpose and meaning, and it's what's driving those things that really matters.
Yeah. Your reflections too have me thinking about connection in schools, Helen, and the important role of maybe connection in well-being, and how other experiences and being able to share our full range of emotion can enhance connection
Yes,
in the
yes.
school.
Again, supporting authenticity, the risk to have deep, meaningful relationships, and the ability to let go of them more effectively as well when you need to.